Hello everybody, welcome back to another tutorial by Flash Phones. Today we have the Samsung Galaxy S Touch 2. This was sent in to us from Gail, so we appreciate her donating her phone in time for the video. Thanks, Gail. Okay, today we're going to learn how to root this phone. Now, if you look at the instructions, and if you've seen some of our other root tutorials, the instructions are a little bit longer than this. This is only 7 steps. 8 if you count the prerequisite. Now the prerequisite's important. Let's go ahead and we'll open up the instructions. So here's the instructions. I want you to pay attention to what it says before step 1. It says before you start this, turn phone on and put the custom ROM on the internal hard drive by going to My Computer and clicking on the phone's hard drive. Now we're going to do that together. And the reason that this is important is that when we run Odin and we run the custom kernel that we have, we're using a custom kernel for a GSM international version of this phone, which obviously the CDMA version doesn't necessarily support. That being said, when it boots back up, most of the functions of the phone will not work. One of those functions is the SD card, so we can't load a custom ROM off the SD card. It has to be in the internal storage, which makes this step the very most important, because if you get down here and you've got your ROM on the SD card, you're going to have to reset the phone back to stock, and that's not an easy thing to do. So if you're ready, let's go. Okay, so now we have our phone. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Now obviously you're going to have the drivers installed, and I do have a link at the bottom of the instructions. If you don't have the drivers installed, just follow that link, install the drivers on your computer, and everything will be fine. So now we've plugged it in. It's just going to install the software here. I'll just give that a moment. And we're all set. Real good. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our phone and we want to pull down the information here, bar, and then click on USB connected. Okay. Now we want to click on connect USB storage. And there we go. Now back to our computer, we can go ahead and just X out of this. And we can go to My Computer, and now you're going to see an empty drive come up. If you click on that, you'll see inside that it has an external SD card. So this is where we want to stick our ROM, not on the SD card. So we can just grab it and we can drag it over here. And that just takes a moment. Okay, so once the ROM is over there, we can go ahead and close out of this, bring our window back, and now we want to run Odin, so we'll just click on that, open up Odin, and we want to put our phone into download mode. So the first step of that is we're going to power the phone off, and we'll hit OK. And you're going to want to unplug it at this point. And as soon as it's all the way off, you want to hold the volume down and the power button. Just hold those down. And it's going to bring you to this screen that says warning. Custom operating system cause critical problems, blah, 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 blah. Just hit volume up for continue, and now we're going to be in download mode. Now we want to go ahead and plug this back in. It's going to install some drivers, and you're going to see it come up here in Odin. See how it says COM9 right there? Now, just so you know, sometimes when it installs the drivers the first time, it doesn't really come up here. It's a good practice to go ahead and unplug the phone from the computer, Not the USB cord from the phone, but the USB cord from the computer. Wait just a minute. Plug it back in. And you'll see it comes up here. If you do that, if you do it the first time and you don't see it, don't panic. Just go ahead, unplug it, wait 15 seconds, plug it back in. You'll see it come up. Now, important thing, in the options section here, you want to make sure that the only thing checked is auto reboot. So we're going to deselect reset time. You do not want anything else selected here, and that's in the instructions. Now you want to go to the PDA section, and you want to click on the rooted Galaxy kernel here. You won't have the back to stock tar in the file that you download from me. You'll just have this custom rooted kernel, so you're not going to be able to make a you're not going to be able to select the wrong one. So with that selected, we're going to go ahead and click start. And it just takes a moment. It's going to flash that custom kernel onto the phone, and then it's going to shut the phone off and reboot it. So we're going to let it reboot. Alright, so we're booted back up. And I'll let it just everything pop up here. And we're going to go to applications. And now you're going to see all kinds of funny stuff installed on here. You're going to see that it's rooted, but don't pay any attention to that. The only thing we want to do here is we want to go to the applications, and we want to go to the CWM, clock word mod, and click it. And we're going to click allow super user request, and that will be granted. And then we're going to go to Clockword Mod reboot into Clockword Mod recovery. And reboot. And there's the recovery. So what we want to do is we want to do a full wipe. So we'll go wipe data factory reset. And it may seem redundant, but we're going to do this 3 times. Believe me, there's a method to the madness. And now we're going to go down to wipe the cache partition. And as you might guess, we're going to do this 3 times as well. And now we're going to go to advanced, and we're going to wipe Delvic cache 3 times. And we're going to go back, and we're going to install zip from SD card. We're going to choose the zip from the SD card. We're going to scroll down to choose zip from internal SD card, and we're going to go down to FP custom S2 ROM.zip, and we're going to say yes. And it's going to install. And it takes just a few minutes. And once it's done, the phone will boot back up. Well, and once it's done, it'll drop us back into the menu. Okay, so now we're back at the menu. We can scroll down and hit go back, and then reboot system now. Okay, so the phone's booted back up, and now when you get to this screen, you're going to want to say set as default and use the regular launcher, the TW launcher. and that's going to take you to your home screen. Now, when you click on Applications, you'll notice this ROM comes preloaded with everything in it. EFS File Explorer, got your super user permissions, everything's on it that you need. So that's it. We tried to make it painless for you, and this usually takes less than 3 minutes really to run this, and you're all done. You're ready to go. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for checking us out. If you have any questions or comments, you can go to our website, www.flashedphones.net. That's flashed with an ED, phones with an S.net. And in the upper right hand corner you can click on Contact Us. Our phone numbers there are our ICQ as well as our email. Thank you. We'll see you on the next video.